Good evening. I would like to call the Monday, June 6, 2026 Blue Springs Planning Commission meeting to order. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tracy, could we get a roll call, please?
Of course. Commissioner Ingersoll?
Present.
Commissioner Pumphrey?
Present.
Commissioner Stokenberry?
Present.
Commissioner Richel?
Present.
Commissioner Sanderson? Commissioner Irie?
Present.
Commissioner Graham?
Present.
Commissioner Henning?
Present.
Chairperson Howe?
Here.
All right.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to entertain a motion on the consent agenda for the approval of the May 26, 2026 meeting minutes.
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. In a second. For all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That motion carries. Next on the agenda, I will open the public hearing for agenda item number 4, the conditional use permit CUP 03269855 for split spaces. I will ask for exhibits from our city attorney. Jennifer, please.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we have 7 exhibits to enter into the record tonight. The first is the staff report with the attachments. Second is the affidavit of publication that was published in the Examiner on May 23rd, 2026. Third is the notification map showing 185 feet around the property. The fourth exhibit is the a list of property owners within 185 feet. Fifth is a copy of the letter sent to the property owners of this public hearing. Exhibit 6 is the land use section of the Blue Springs Code of Ordinances. And lastly, we have the 2014 comprehensive plan.
Thank you so much. At this time, I will ask for staff's presentation. Mr. Day.
Good evening, commissioners. Before you this evening is a request by the applicant, Capital Builders KC, requesting approval of a conditional use permit to allow the land uses of Vehicle Repair Limited and Vehicle Repair General within buildings A and B of the Flex Space Phase 2 development. These uses require a conditional use permit within the light industrial or LI zoning district. The subject property is zoned light industrial and is surrounded primarily by industrial and commercial uses. To the north and east are light industrial properties, while commercial properties are located to the south and west. No additional construction, site modifications, or infrastructure improvements are proposed as part of this request, as parking, stormwater, utilities, and site access were previously reviewed and approved through the development process. Staff notes that all vehicle repair activities must occur within the enclosed tenant spaces, and that outdoor storage of vehicles awaiting repair is prohibited. Staff reviewed the request against the conditional use permit criteria contained within the UDC. Staff found the proposed use to be consistent with the intent of the light industrial zoning district, compatible with the surrounding uses, and is not expected to create adverse impacts on adjacent properties, public infrastructure, or long-range planning objectives. Based on this analysis, staff recommends approval of the conditional use permit subject to the conditions listed at the end of the staff report. I would be happy to answer any questions, and the applicant is present to answer any as well.
Thank you, sir. I'll bring it back up here. Any questions for staff before we hear from the applicant?
Chair.
Yes, sir.
Can we see the actual plan with the buildings?
Correct.
Those are new buildings, right?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
When is CD&E slated to be built? Do we know?
So C and D are currently being built as part of it. So a site plan design review was approved. The only building that hasn't been built yet would be building E.
Okay. Cool.
My concern is parking. Like for building A, I drove through there and there's 11 parking spots and 2 of them are handicapped, so that's like 9. And I want to be able to show some flexibility for this conditional use permit, but I'm struggling for the parking aspect, it won't really affect, I think, the public in the sense of a nuisance potential of seeing it because it's on the inner buildings. And you mentioned that it's specifically no vehicle storage waiting to be repaired. I'm curious, the applicant can speak, how that works, because I'm really struggling with parking. There's, how many units are in the building? I guess we can wait for the applicant, we can ask the applicant that. But that's my struggle here.
Okay. Any other comments before we bring up the applicant? All right. Would the applicant like to speak on behalf? And if you could please state your name and your address for the record.
Yeah, Brandon Keller, 420 Nichols Road, Kansas City, Missouri, 64112. Thank you for having me, and I'm sorry I'm the only one on the agenda tonight that you all had to come out here for.
It's appreciated, by the way.
Yeah. So speaking to parking, and I guess I'll back up a little bit and just kind of explain why we're asking for this. So we saw a lot of applicants for or interested renters that are interested in some sort of specialized mechanical use per se, whether that be like a small, like it's a motorcycle shop who customizes motorcycles and puts like larger like stretches them, puts new handlebars on them or something like that, or an automotive user who, so we have a detailer in the first phase who just details and does tint, but there's also detailers that can also do modifications to cars, like put a spoiler on or something like that, and that would fall under mechanical, so we have to tell them that they're not allowed. And so and then going back and forth with the city, one of the biggest issues was there's no floor drains, and so changing oil or other fluids would not be allowed in this scenario. And so that's specifically what we're asking for. It's just a small specific uses, and we don't want to turn them away because they're good renters. But and so it would not be a traditional automotive shop where they would be able to store cars, because we only allow one additional car outside the unit anyways. And so basically once we tell them that, then they that nullifies any of the other mechanical where you have multiple cars waiting in line to be worked on. So this would just be a special use case. Yeah. So no additional exterior parking because we don't allow it as a management, because then the other renters get mad. And we're to the point now we're actually assigning spaces per each unit as well, just to make sure that there's no infighting between tenants and who's getting what spots and whatnot. But we haven't had, parking hasn't been much of an issue yet. There's that area on building A that you were referring to, there's not as many up there. And so that one is probably a little bit more tight as far as the users go. But we just take that into account when we're leasing out other spaces. And so we'll separate them into a different, if we know that they may have 2 extra cars, we'll try to put them in a different space. Yeah. So, and then, yeah, going back to, we're only allowing it in building A and B. So B is sprinkled. That building is sprinkled. And so if there was a use that we were worried about, a potential user that might have some type of chemical, then we would always put them in building in B, so that they're allowed in that building since it's sprinkled, and then A because you can't see it from the street, so we don't want people to be able to see hoods up. So building C and D, which are just wrapping up construction right now, and those are more geared toward retailers, I would say. So we, I think we just signed a new sort of retailer for building D today, I believe, and we are turning away a lot of the automotive mechanics. So you'd be surprised how many calls we get, and once we tell them that they can't store additional vehicles out, and we probably get like 1 a week right now of people that want an auto shop, and it's because they want, but they need storage, and so we turn them down every time. So, any other questions I can?
Yes, sir.
What do you see as like the healthy tenant ratio with these what would you desire to have?
For us in buildings A and B, I mean, as long as they meet as long as, you know, they don't have more than one additional car outside the space, in buildings A and B, I mean, we wouldn't really have a maximum requirement. I think there is a maximum requirement though at the city level for automotive use. I think it's 5,000 square feet per 12,000.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
So we wouldn't even be allowed more than 5 automotive official users in each building anyways. And I don't think that we would have that many specialty users either. There's only so many like small specialty automotive users out there. So a majority of building A, I believe, is the one that's the fully leased already. And most of them are small business, like HVAC repairmen, various other like businesses that just needed additional storage and that sort of thing. So building A was finished first, and so that one leased first. What you won't see I don't think anybody's moved into C and D yet, but we're starting the TIs, scheduling out the TI work to finish their spaces right now. So it looks a little empty, but building A is full, and we're working on B right now. Yeah.
Any other comments from up here? Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. At this point, I'm going to ask if there is anyone in the audience that would like to speak in favor of this project. In favor of? Seeing none, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in opposition to? Seeing none, the public comment section of this public hearing is over. Any final questions for the staff?
I would just like clarification that on a project like this, there is indeed no different variations of classifications for auto repair facilities versus just one blanket one that covers all of them.
So both of them, so that's why we did vehicle repair limited and general.
Okay.
But again, we've conditioned it to where no matter what they do, that work has to stay within the confines of that rented interior space. So renter can, even if in the event that Capital Builders moved management or whatever, if somebody came in, different management came in, the work that's happening on the site would have to remain within the confines of their rented interior space. So they couldn't have a car in the parking lot waiting to be repaired. They couldn't repair the car in the parking lot. So everything would have to happen within the interior, essentially.
So regular mechanic shops have a different classification than what we're agreeing to?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like technically like the vehicle repair limited could cover like auto dealers, like stuff like that, like the modifications. But also in the event they wanted to have somebody in that shop that was repairing stuff, that's why we worked with them and kind of did both of the vehicle repair uses. And that's why we've also conditioned that no matter what, it just has to remain within the confines. And then anything related to, say, like the drains that he mentioned, I talked with our billing codes administrator, and essentially we would catch that on like a tenant finish or an interior, and we would clarify what they're doing in terms of mechanic work.
Thank you.
Any other comments up here? For staff or the applicant? All right. At this point, I'm going to close the public hearing. And I would ask for a motion on the conditional use permit.
To me. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I would move for approval of the conditional use permit for flex spaces, I didn't bring any glasses, so I'm gonna have to, 0326-9855 with staff conditions.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, sir. This will be a roll call. So Tracy.
Yes. Commissioner Pumphrey,
Aye.
Commissioner Stokenberry,
Aye.
Commissioner Richel,
Aye.
Commissioner Irie,
Aye.
Commissioner Graham,
Aye.
Commissioner Henning,
Aye.
Commissioner Ingersoll,
Aye.
Chairperson Howe?
Aye.
All ayes.
All right, so that motion carried. This item will be recommended and heard by the City Council at their Monday, June 15th, 2026 meeting at 6 p.m. The next item is adjournment, but before we do that, I would like to take a moment to recognize our former chair, current vice chair, Mr. Chris Henning. Thank you for your dedication over the last 2 years as being our chair, and I would like to, on behalf of myself, the staff, and the commissioners, would like to present you this gavel.
Very much.
And thank you very much for all your service. Anything? Oh, yes.
Still can't believe they gave me a gavel.
Look at that.
A good gavel.
All right, you do whatever you want with that. Anything else from up here before we? All right, so do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? Second. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned. Have a great night. Thank you. Thank you.